These are the opening remarks. Give a warm welcome for Nelson Granados. He's with Pepperdine.
Thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. It's just such a pleasure. Today, this is about evolution, right, as the name suggests. And in order for you to understand what we're going to talk about today, it's useful to understand a little bit about the genesis of where this came from. I have to go very quickly back to 2011, where we had our first HITS event, the ones a lot of you have been part of for more than a decade. It was called the Hollywood IT Summit. Now it's called the Hollywood Innovation and Transformation Summit. It started at Pepperdine, apparently in a big classroom. I wasn't part of that. I came in later on, and then I helped it go from classroom size to sort of auditorium size, and then HITS outgrew Pepperdine's venues, and that's when it came to places like this and hotels and all that. But so it's important for you to understand that HITS through Mesa and Guy, we've been working on this collaboration of industry and academia to tackle complex, stubborn problems in business. And nothing like talking about AI in entertainment and media, right? It's what's coming, what's already here. It's overwhelming. It's sometimes hard to wrap our arms around what's already going on, some of which you've heard this morning at the HIT sessions, and which will continue to overwhelm us. So hopefully what this afternoon is all about is then to understand how things are evolving. So a few years ago, we got together again with Guy and Mesa, and we said, okay, why don't we try to introduce an event that focuses on the evolution of the industry in the context, of course, of the digital transformation and many other aspects of how it's evolving. But that way we can all focus, think, come together, build knowledge, theorize about, predict where the world is headed for the world of media and entertainment. So that's what this event is all about. And then full circle, what happens is then we start thinking and say, well, let's bring HITS and EES together. So you're the first ones to see the HITS production and newly created EES production come together. And I think it makes sense, right? In the morning you see a lot about what's happening, some elements of what's going on, what's going to happen in the short term, and then here we come and think about what's going to happen, you know, how things are going to evolve, what trends do we need to understand to make better decisions in our organizations and to be better entrepreneurs. So that's what this afternoon is all about. And I'd like to introduce now our Dean of the Business School at Pepperdine, Deborah Crown, Dr. Deborah Crown. Let's give her a hand. She's going to give us just a couple welcoming words in a second, but you know, she comes from 20 years of experience as a professor and leader in business schools across the country, all the way from the west in Hawaii to the east in Florida. And her last position was as business school dean in a university in Florida. But so she brings this sort of academic angle, but of course very much grounded in practice, as she has experienced the world of business from business schools around the country. And then we have, on the other hand, we have next to me, Doug Warner. Please give me a hand. Doug is the CEO and founder of Warner Artist Management. He has, of course, great talent manager. I can tell you that he has managed A-level talent that you are all very familiar with, but he's a very modest person. But anyway, incredible executive experience that he has coming from the industry side. And so they represent they really represent well what this is all about, is the convergence of industry and academia to tackle some of the complex issues that we need to tackle today, right? So next I'd like to just ask Deborah to please come up and say a few welcoming words. So Deborah.
Thank you, and I am so excited to welcome you here today. So first, congratulations. You heard Nelson talking about when we think about AI, it can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming. And so you are here today to be excited about it, to be able to say, all right, I'm not going to just be overwhelmed. I want to see how this is an advantage. I want to be at the front end of this evolution in our industry. And so Nelson spoke about just that role between industry and the academy. And now I get to say this as a business school dean. Oftentimes, when you think of universities, you think of ivory towers, kind of distant from actually our business community, whether it's entertainment, media, and sport, or others. One of the wonderful things about Pepperdine Graziadio Business School is that we embrace that intersection. We applaud that intersection. We put ourselves in the middle of that intersection. And so what we're so excited about today is something that we're excited about every single day in our programming, taking that thought leadership, taking research, which again, just even the words research, it's just lots of data that goes across different industries to be able to make predictions and adaptations over time. So we love that you are here today with your domain expertise, also with our panelists, and your speakers today are just phenomenal thought leaders. And so we look forward to learning together. And so let me hand off to one of our board members at Pepperdine Graziadio, Doug Warner, who Nelson introduced earlier, also co-founder of our Institute for Entertainment, Media, and Sport, and someone who is passionate about constantly evolving and keeping not just himself, but all the people that surround him moving forward with this perspective of how do we solve problems? How do we make sure that we're advancing? Doug.
Thank you, Deborah. Dean Crown. Welcome. Leveraging the business environment with Pepperdine's strong Graziadio programs create successful events, as evident in today's HITS EES Symposium, with AI as the intersection in entertainment. AI is the most significant of the emerging chapters in entertainment today. We hope you engage, learn, and take away new concepts to evaluate applications of AI, not only in entertainment, but in your businesses as well. Our feature speakers and panelists are leaders in AI in entertainment that will bring you closer to the most capturing growth markets between business and creative. And that's the key, the intersection between business and creative. We wish to extend our thanks to our longstanding relationship with HITS. Thank you, Guy, and the continued branded support of Pepperdine's Institute for Entertainment, Media, and Sports. If any of you in the audience is interested in continuing your education, we have folks out in the front lobby that would be happy to answer your questions. And we hope that your interest today will lead to continued interest at Pepperdine. Thank you very much and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much to Deborah and Doug. And next and finally, we have Guy, who's the champion of telling us what's going to happen in more detail.
All right. I'm on page 16 of our program, this big 24-page book. So we just had the opening remarks. Doug and I are going to interview the ankler up here, which is going to be amazing. That's what's going to happen for a half hour. And then we have our opening keynote. And Nitin Chawla is here from Warner Discovery, CFO, talking about AI in the age of media disruption. Amazing presentation. And then we have a little 15-minute snack with James Altucher and Carmi Zlotnick. And that's really a warm-up for the panel that happens after the break. So now I'm turning to page 18. By the way, Fortinet, Speeder Security, you can have both, ladies and gentlemen. You can. Thank you for our sponsors, of course. Then we go to a panel session and then a kind of fireside / show and tell. So Carmi has a great panel session with a gentleman from Wharton James Altucher is, of course, joining, and Matt Panousis, who's going to join us remotely. That's why this monitor is kind of creeping in here like a fourth panelist up here. And then Claudio is going to interview Frederick Valleys. And Frederick has a book here. He's got some AI tools, and it's kind of like a show and tell, kind of the last snack before we go to our closing keynote, which is on page 20. You know, it's that women in technology. I'm sorry, it's not page 20. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, where is it? 22. Our closing keynote is Jen Hollingsworth. And Jen was the COO over at Lionsgate. We've known her for years. She keynoted one of our earlier EESs. And she's now at Flawless, flawless.ai. That's not the name of the company. It's just Flawless. Flawless.ai is their website. And she and Daniel Pinar are going to talk about the generative AI revolution and kind of give us some parting thoughts to go home, think about what just happened today. What is going on? Because ultimately, that's why we're here. Innovation, transformation, evolution, right? It's a magical, powerful combination. But ultimately, this is about your aha moments and finding that nugget, that spark, meeting that person like wow. Because you have one of those moments, you'll always be back to one of our events, and we hope you are having a great day today. We're excited about the next few hours of programming brought to you by Pepperdine, Graziadio, and of course IEMS. And I think that's it. Should we get started? How are we doing on time? We're right there, right? Oh, it's 2:15 exactly. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you, Nelson.